Everything you need to fly comes with your drone. But who doesn't love extras? So I'm going to show you some of my favorite accessories. My first accessory is prop guards. I bought these for about $10 on Amazon, so they're not very expensive. They go right under your motor, and what they do is they prevent your props from hitting things. So they're great for flying indoors where there's walls. They're also good if you're a beginner and you think you might run into a tree or a house. They come in handy when you're about to have a crash, but they also affect the way your drone flies, so not everyone loves them. I personally don't use mine. They're just too hard to put on and off, and I feel confident enough not to use them. So don't feel like you need these at all, but they are an option. I also have an extra micro SD card. This one is 32 gigs. You definitely don't want to be flying out there and run out of memory. I also have a couple of micro SD card readers. These are really great for importing your photos on your computer and updating firmware. You can connect your drone directly to your computer, but it's a little more cumbersome. Another thing I have is an extra battery. It's always great to have more power. You don't want to have your battery die and then see the best sunset of your life right after. So it's always nice to have extra batteries. The next thing I have is I have 3 filters from Polar Pro. I have 1 polarizer and 2 ND filters. I don't use these too often, but they are great for bringing out colors when the sun's too bright, when it's cloudy, when you want to take a long exposure shot. So these are not essential by any means, but they do take your photography up to the next level if you are interested in that. Now a really simple and cheap accessory is a lanyard. This is really helpful when you're taking your hand off your controller, if you're touching your viewing device, or if somehow the controller just ever slipped out of your hand. So it definitely gives you an extra layer of security. I definitely recommend that you get a lanyard, but it's not a necessity. My other favorite accessory is my sunshade. In the daylight, I used to never be able to fly. It was so hard with the sun glare on my phone. So I invested in a cheap sunshade from Amazon, and it has been a lifesaver. I couldn't imagine ever flying again without it. Another simple accessory is my USB cable. I used to always forget to bring my USB cable, so I bought a dedicated one to leave on my controller. This one is also very short, and I like that, because when I was using my old iPhone cord, it was so long that it kept getting tangled, it kept getting stuck in the antennas, and you definitely don't want that. I also have 4 motor guards. I use these when I'm traveling to protect my motors. They're super cheap, you can make your own, or you can buy some on Amazon. I also have a lens cap, which I use when I'm traveling or right after I'm done flying, because I wouldn't want dirt or sand to get in my lens or scratch anything. On my actual drone, I have a little black bar called a gimbal guard. The gimbal guard is supposed to protect your gimbal and camera if your drone ever falls. That way the impact will hit the gimbal guard and not your camera. People have reported that it has saved their camera and gimbal in certain crashes, and others have said it didn't do anything at all or even made it worse. So this one is totally up to you. I like it, I feel more safe and protected with it. I haven't noticed any alterations in how my drone flies, and I think it looks cool. And finally, I have a backpack. It's really great for when I'm traveling, or if I'm walking far, or even hiking up to get a great shot. And I really love having everything on me in one place at all times. This did cost me about $100 on Amazon, but there are so many others out there. I would definitely do some searching and find one to invest in.